Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's live stream. I am Dr. Stephanie Anduri.
And I'm Dr. Graham Anduri.
And we are Sing for Your Lives. This week, we wanted to talk about kind of what it is that sets the great singers apart from the singers who are doing well, but maybe not super successful, maybe not super impactful with their voices. And so we wanted to talk about what that looks like. I think most singers at some point in their careers have the idea that most of success is hinged on proper technique, on good mechanics of the voice. And of course, that's an important factor. We're both pedagogues. We both love the nitty gritty of technique and really digging into to find the most effective way of using our voices. And so that's absolutely a crucial factor, but it's definitely not the only one. And we find that so often all of these other factors that are equally important kind of fall by the wayside. So we wanted to dig into some of those.
That's right. So, a lot of times you might hear the term the it factor. And what is the it factor? What is that one like secret sauce that makes somebody successful? And is it just one thing? Is it just that they're born with it? That God reached down and touched their larynx and said, "Thou shalt sing"? Is it luck that, they just got lucky and all of a sudden they're famous and rich and successful? Or is it something else? Or is it several other things? Well, we've sung with a lot of singers from all levels of the music industry, from, bare bones beginners to people who are dominating on the stage of the Met and on Broadway. And we've noticed some things, we've noticed some patterns over the years that really kind of set those top level singers apart from everybody else. The things that seem to really create that it factor. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to talk about what we've noticed and what has really made some powerful changes in our careers and in our lives. Yeah. And some things that you can start to implement for yourself, and just some different ways of thinking about what you do and how you go about it.
Right. So the first thing we kind of dipped our toes into a little bit is technique. And like we said, technique is, of course, so important. We have to sound good. Our voices are sort of the focus of the performance, right? But the purpose for good technique is not just to sing perfectly. The purpose of the technique is not 6 to 8 oscillations per second. It's not consistent resonance. It's not being able to sing high notes. All of those things exist to convey an emotional message. The point is the emotional message. It is not the sound that we are creating to get there, right? So when audience members pay for tickets and come to see us perform, they're not paying for us. They're paying for the transformation that we are inspiring in them. They are paying for the future version of themselves, the emotional intensity that they experience in that performance. And so when we think that it's about us and our technique being perfect, we miss the ability to communicate, because technique really exists to serve the emotion. The reason that we learn technique is so that our bodies are out of the way of our souls and our voices can come through unimpeded. We can shape the phrase any way that will make the message be most authentically understood and experienced by the listener, because we are not limited in what we're able to do with our voices.
That's right. When I was in high school still, I didn't even know I wanted to be a singer yet. I actually wanted to be a guitar player. I wanted to be a rock star. One of my idols back then was Joe Satriani, and I just looked up to him like crazy. And I said, I used to think, if I could just get to be that good, if I could get my fingers to do what his fingers do, then obviously I'm just going to magically become this famous rock star guitar player. That's how that works, right? Your technique's good enough, you'll just be discovered. And then I would see all of these other musicians, whether they were guitar players or not, or, singers, whatever they were, like, wow, those guys are amazing. Why aren't they better known? Like, why aren't they on a bigger stage somewhere? What's missing with that? And I realized over the years that was not the only thing that mattered. It's not just about the technique. It's not just about the sound that you make. It's about what that sound is conveying. It's about what that sound is communicating and how it's affecting other people. So that's the first big thing, besides the technique, is that these great singers, these great musicians, great performers of all kinds, they know how to make an emotional impact. They know how to move people's hearts and change their minds. And like she said, they're not selling their voices. They know that when they get on stage, people don't come to hear their voice. They come to feel something and be moved by them. They come for the transformation that they experience. And those great singers, whether they're conscious of this or not, they know how to provide that transformation for everybody in the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So they have confidence in what they're offering, because here's the thing that happens when we don't feel confident. Often we think of that as humility, right? We're backstage and we're like, oh man, I don't want to mess up. What if I forget my words and the audience doesn't get the experience that they're here for? All of that distracts from what the performance is really about. Because when you're focused inward on your perceived flaws, you are incapable of also focusing outward on the story that you're telling, on focusing on the connection that you are creating with your audience. And so confidence is absolutely a key feature to this. And you won't see professional, high-level singers, the ones that we all want to be like, or the ones that we all listen to on our drive home, without dealing with your own impediments to finding your confidence.
Mm-hmm. But it's not just confidence in terms of like, you got to be cocky. That's a totally different thing. That's actually, we've often found that when somebody's really cocky about what they are doing, it's actually an insecurity that they're covering up with false confidence, with overconfidence. True, real, deep confidence in what you have to offer is a totally different thing. It's knowing that you can trust your voice, and it's knowing that what you have to offer has the power to change somebody else's life. That's really what the confidence piece is all about. It's not like everybody come see how good I am at making these high notes happen, at singing these runs. That's not real confidence. It's knowing that you can have an impact on somebody's life.
Yes, absolutely. The other thing that these singers are doing, and kind of by default, is surrounding themselves with a community of other like-minded people. People who are encouraging them to grow, who are pushing them to find their authentic voice and to dig into that more honestly, to express themselves more emotionally and with more vulnerability. And when you surround yourself with those people, you become that person more and more. And I had a high school teacher, this was Mr. Schneider. He taught my award winners in contemporary lit class, who used to say something that I still think I will probably tell my kids when they're a little older. When you hang out with the turds, you're going to get flushed right along with them. And this is so true, because when you hang out with people who are telling you, you can't do this, or this isn't worth your time, or like, don't go practice, come to the bars, or whatever it is, when those people have that mentality who are trying to pull you away from the thing that you are trying to achieve in your life, then you can't achieve all of the things you desire.
That's right. So there's something that, you see this across all different areas of different industries across the world, that you are the average of the tribe that you surround yourself with, whether that has to do with your income, the amount of money that you make, whether that is the level of happiness that you experience, the amount of success that you have in your career, the amount of motivation and drive that you have to achieve your dreams and your goals, the level of vibration that you're existing on, whatever you want to call it, you are the average of the people that you surround yourself with. So look around you, look at your group of friends, of colleagues, of acquaintances. Who are you choosing to surround yourself with? And how is that contributing to your level of success and whatever dreams that you are trying to achieve?
Yeah.
The people that made it to those high levels, they surround themselves with people who are already achieving at high levels. And so if you want to develop your own it factor, figure out how you can start plugging yourself into those kinds of circles where people are driven, people are talented, people are achieving at a high level, and people know what they have to offer.
Yeah. When we think of the greats, and we think of generations past of opera singers specifically, we think of these amazing singers who were brought up into a system that's much different than the one we know now. all of these singers invested in a kind of mentorship that just really hasn't existed for a few decades. They used to live with their teachers and they would absorb all of the teachings throughout the day. They would practice together and have lessons all the time. They were always surrounded by their teachers' other students, and everything they did was designed to help them achieve greatness. This just doesn't exist in the world anymore. And that's a real shame because it is a huge, huge piece to so many of these singers' careers.
Absolutely. And we've got some really exciting news with that in mind. We've got some really exciting news coming up. We've made a post about it in our Transformative Singers Facebook group earlier today. The juicy details are not yet available, but we're going to post more about what that looks like tomorrow.
Oh, we're so excited. We cannot even wait.
We're super pumped. It's something that we've been working on for a really long time. And it's basically how you can go about doing all of these things, how you can develop your own it factor or factors. Really, as you can see, there are numerous things that go into this. And it's not just the technique. It's not just being born with it and being lucky. And it's not just that one secret sauce. There's really a number of factors that go into your success. This is what we're about to talk about, or tomorrow, what we're going to show you is this brand new one-of-a-kind program. It kind of looks back to that older style of apprenticeship program, but it does it in a whole new way. And we're, like I said, we can't give away any more than that right now, but check out the Facebook group, the Transformative Singers Facebook group, for a post with lots more information and details tomorrow morning. And we'll be seeing you then.
Can't wait.